Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I'm reviewing Callisto Protocol for the PlayStation 5. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. First of all, I need to give a shout out to Striking Distance for providing review code for this. Um, like I said in my my first impressions video, I had already bought this on PC. I'd already returned it just because of the fact, things were kind of messed up there. And to be completely honest, I've wanted to play this game since since they first came out with it. So I didn't want my experience to be ruined by stutter and I mean for the most part I was just gonna wait until later down the road until I could pick it up. I was just gonna pick it up on a deal and then play through the game. So I'm grateful. I am super grateful that they decided to provide me with review code. I'm a small channel. They did not have to do that. So yeah, my hat's off to them. Now that doesn't mean that I'm gonna go easy on them and just be like, oh yeah, this game's perfect. No, I'm not gonna do that. I have a full-time job. I don't need to shill for anybody. I can more than easily buy the games that I want to buy and play. But let's get into this because Callisto Protocol was a game on my radar that I wanted to play, so I took it seriously, and I'm going to tell you what I think right now. Callisto Protocol is a survival horror type genre. It is essentially you're on the moon Callisto, Jupiter's one of Jupiter's two moons. You're on Callisto. You're in a prison. Some things go wrong, you get stuck in there. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but as what's going on is there are mutations that are happening on Callisto. There's a whole story to it. When you play the game, you'll see everything, you'll understand everything. It starts off kind of slow. You don't really get a lot of information because technically you're an inmate. You're not privy to a lot of that stuff. So as you go and you find recordings and you find stuff like that, you'll be able to get story content from those. You'll have to stop, stand in place, listen to the recording, and then you can move. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it does kind of pad out the story or whatever. I didn't do that. I didn't stop and listen to a whole bunch of them. My playtime was 11 hours, a little bit over 11 hours from start to finish. So yeah, I didn't do that. I did listen to a couple of them, but I didn't stop and listen to a bunch of them. Now we're going to talk about enemy variety in this game. First off, you're going to start off with ones that are fairly easy to take out. Actually, they're not even fairly easy. It's kind of hard right from the get-go until you can learn how to do how you do the bobbing and weaving and stuff. And once you figure that out and you learn it, you're like, whoa. So basically, I focused my whole gameplay centered around the melee part up till about the end, and then I started, investing in heavy in weapons and stuff because, boy, they start giving you a lot of stuff to fight toward the end, and it gets a little bit hectic. So you'll have enemy variety. You'll have your regular ones that are essentially human form. Then you'll have these, and then those ones can mutate into bigger things, and they can keep mutating. There's pretty much everything is bipedal for the most part. All of the enemies. There are a couple that'll come on the ground, or some slugs, stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a pretty decent variety of enemies in this game for you, and they do start to get a lot harder as you go on, as you go through, but you also get a lot stronger as you go through, and as you collect things and you upgrade your equipment. You can pretty much meet the challenge all the way through the game for the most part. It does start to get difficult. Now, there are essentially two types of bosses that really stand out. You'll have this one boss. You'll fight this one type of enemy 4 times. Now the boss is the same. Essentially, it has the same move set, all of that. So yeah, you can learn his move set, but the environment that you fight him in is different. And that's the way I looked at it when I was playing it, because you can learn how to fight him and you can get his moves and all that down, but the but where you're fighting him, the arena type deal that you're fighting him in, that there to me was more of the boss fight than actually fighting the boss. Now, the first time you fight him, I don't know if it was a bug or something with the game, but I shot him a couple times and I hit him once and he was done. He was done. I was like, okay, well, that was cool. But the second time, man, and this dude will one-shot you. Like, doesn't matter when you fight him, he will one-shot you. If he hits you one time, you are toast. You're done. So I was like, whoa, man, that's brutal. So my second fight with him was extremely brutal. I was sitting there like, man, how did I take him out the first time? What did I do? And I'm all trying to recreate that, and I'm just getting one-shotted. Well, and then to make matters worse, as I start to figure out, like how to move and stuff, more enemies will come into the ring on that second fight. I was like, whoa, man, this is nuts. Because the first time I fought him, man, I was like, there was like an onslaught before he even popped out. So I was like, whoa, man. So, I mean, thankfully that one went the way it did, because I was literally at a point where I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't want to have to do that all over again. So thankfully that happened. Maybe that was the way it was planned. I don't know. I'll have to talk to some other people that have gotten that far and figure that out. But each encounter with that same one, that was tense. That was extremely tense. I was like, whoa, man, this is tense. I really enjoyed that. Now, let me talk about another elephant in the room, because as you can see, the camera is pretty much God of War camera. I mean, almost essentially God of War camera. And I hated the camera on God of War. But on this game, it's still frustrating. The combat is still frustrating at first. But then, towards the... because there's no indicators or what's coming for you. Like, none whatsoever on this game. There's no indicators. So you kind of are going to... you've got... It is frustrating, but for the most part, it's not. The camera never really bugged me as much as it did on like something like God of War, because most of the time when I was fighting, it wasn't so much that like it was getting yourself positioned to fight and like address it. Like if you go in guns a-blazing and you just, then you're going to have them all right in front of you. But if you do like, like a little bit of stealth here or do something here, use the environment to really tackle these problems, it gets a lot easier. Now, you have this little glove on your arm that is essentially like telekinesis power. I'm going to tell you right now, I pretty much most of the time forgot about that because I focused more on the melee up-close personal combat throughout this whole game, and it was literally incredible. Literally incredible. But when I did remember it was there, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And I use it, and I'm like, yeah, that helped me get through that situation that I just died 15 times trying to get through the other way. So it's pretty cool. I wouldn't use it as a crutch. I guess you could, and it would potentially make this a lot easier of an experience, but I really enjoyed getting down in the mud and really fighting and like trying to just like, oh my gosh, the experience was frantic and fun in a good way. I was just feeling like, whoa, man, my heart was beating after every time I would fight something, and I was just like, whoa. Now, I do want to say that, yeah, maybe there's going to be like some spoilers, because this is about midway through the game. What you're seeing right now, some of the stuff in the background. I would like you to pay attention to me and not really focus on that too much. I am going to post all of these videos, my whole playthrough. I'm going to go ahead and post those on the channel if you want to watch those. They're not going to really tell you nothing because I didn't record my voice. I didn't do any of that. I just recorded straight video. I'm just going to post straight video. I'll wait maybe I'll do it now. Maybe I'll do it now. Yeah. So I freaking love this game. This game is awesome. Now, Resident Evil Village is literally incredible. Like, I love that game. I like this one more. Now, the story in this game, like up till about this point where I'm walking now, you're not really understanding what's going on in the story. But from this point forward, this is about 6 hours into the game. It was about 6 hours in, about at this point. So at about this point, this is when you start to like really understand what's going on, and you'll start to put things together a little better, and you'll be like, oh, I see. And then you'll figure things out, and then you're like, dude, there's some really freaking cool set pieces in this game. I don't know if you noticed it, but you're walking through this blizzard, and it's like the coolest freaking blizzard I've ever seen on a video game in my entire life. And the particle effects on this, I was so surprised at just how well this ran on the PlayStation 5. I did switch from my 4K OLED to my monitor and played through it, and this game looks incredible on a 1440p monitor. Literally incredible. I was like, whoa. I was blown away on the 4K, but I was even more blown away once I put it on the monitor and it downsamples. Man, it looked incredible the rest of the way. Oh man. If you have the option, I definitely recommend trying both and seeing which one you really like. But I felt like I was a little bit more. I felt like once I transitioned to the monitor, like the combat and everything felt a lot smoother. It is gonna feel clunky, feel a little clunky while you're playing it, but then man, it gets so much better. The end boss in this game, I'm gonna let you figure it out, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you by any means, but it was interesting. Like it wasn't. I was more challenged by the two-headed boss things than I was the end boss, because the end boss you just kind of run around. With them other dudes, you're like tight quarters fighting these things, and like this dude, you can like move around, run around, stomp on boxes and get stuff. And that one was a lot different. I mean, he will run at you too, but that one there was a lot more open, and it just felt like a little bit less challenging than the other ones, because the other ones were like, whoa, man. One of the sections where I fought the two-headed guy was open, kind of like this one, and it was a lot easier to deal with that time. But fighting that end boss, it was still challenging, but it was good. Like, it was memorable. It tied in like the story work, and the ending of the game was pretty dang good. I was like, wow, man, that's pretty cool. I really hope that there's, like some DLC. I really hope there's some DLC to like really, flush out the end of that. But this freaking game, man, like, it is beautiful from start to finish. Literally beautiful. I personally, let's explain kind of like how the game's kind of set up. So essentially, okay, one of the things that like you'll always find in like survival horror type games is like y'all do a lot of backtracking. Nope, not in this one. It doesn't make you backtrack or do a whole bunch of stuff like that, or senseless, useless puzzles. This is the way PlayStation should make their games. Cutscenes when there needs to be cutscenes, nice, short, to the point, gets them done, and then so much gameplay in this game. I was like, are you kidding me, man? I was like, dang, I thought there was going to be a ton of cutscenes because Sony guys helped. And it is true, they are in the credits. When you watch the credits, yeah, the Sony guys helped. Sony PlayStation devs did help on this game, and that's great. That's a good thing. It helped the game be better. I really like this game, guys. I really thought it was good. I definitely think it's worth your money. If you're one of them ones that are like, yeah, man, I want that quality. Here you go, man. Here's your quality. Solid gameplay all the way through. The combat is a little bit challenging at first, but then you'll learn it and you'll get better, and you'll be able to get through the game and truly experience what Callisto Protocol has to offer. This game is freaking good. Really, really, really good. I definitely really like this game. I don't know if I would put it in my like game of the year, in the game of the year thing for me, but this was definitely better than God of War Ragnarok for me. Like, definitely better. But I know that those are two separate types of games, but they're kind of the same. They're linear experiences. You go from one point to the other. This one here is just cut to the point and you get done. Actually, you could probably compare this one more to Evil West than you could God of War. Well, actually, it's kind of like a hybrid of both of them. This one here's got a little bit more extra exploring over what Evil West does, but not as much nonsense or side quest stuff is it's like God of War. Like this is all cut to the point. Like it'd be pretty hard to miss some of the story, like any of the story content or any of the stuff that would make the experience better. Yeah, this one's good. I definitely would rate this higher than God of War. I would give this probably a 9. I would say this one's a solid 9. This one's a solid 9. It's right up there with Resident Evil Village for me, a solid 9. These games are pretty dang good. Resident Evil Village and Callisto Protocol, the remakes of the Resident Evils, like this one fits right in nicely with all of those. It's fun, and I'm essentially pretty new to like the Dead Space type games. Like I didn't play Dead Space 1 or 2, and I played a little bit of 3. Once I got my PlayStation 4, I was like, I'm over that. I didn't play no more of it. Couldn't, you know what I mean? I got rid of my PlayStation 3 and I was like, all right, whatever. I moved on, took it over to GameStop and just moved on from it. So yeah, this one here is freaking fantastic. It was a really good journey, a really good story. It does have a really good story. Actually, it actually works. It's not like just like it's not like super bombastic. It's just like, dang, that was a pretty dang good story. It worked. So I was like, nice, that's pretty cool. I liked it, man. I had a good job. I had a good time with this game. Obviously I was live streaming it this morning, and then I was like, man, I just want to focus on this game and like not have to worry about what's going on in the chat and everything else. I just want to sit, focus, take this all in, and like really think about it, and then do a review on it. And like, man, this is good. This is one of them ones that if you were going to buy this, I think you'd be all right. If you were going to buy this now, I think you'd be all right, man. I really do. I don't think that maybe the challenge might be a little bit too much for some people. Cause I'll tell you what, man, some places got a little bit frustrating, man. I died a lot of times and it was pretty frustrating. This one, I mean, this one's almost as good as, man, like the combat in this is definitely the strong point for me. The strongest point of this game is the combat and the way it works and the way it comes together. Like that's really big for me on this game. Like I really appreciated that, and the high quality all the way through this game is incredible. Oh, one more thing, like the set pieces, like the fans and all of that stuff. Man, this game is pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. You can do a lot of that stuff. Me personally, I didn't use as a lot of it because, like I said, I wasn't using the telekinesis thing too much. There'd be spikes on the wall you can use. There's so much in this game that you can experiment with and have fun with. And yeah, it's linear. And I'm pretty sure now that I've been through it all, I could probably get through it. A little bit quicker, but I don't know, man. I would still probably be dawdling and checking things out and looking around and having fun because there's some pretty freaking cool set pieces in here. This is a AAA quality game. I have to say it. This is a AAA quality, high quality game. This is beautiful. Everybody can play it. It's on all consoles. It's on PC. I definitely do recommend this one. Thank you guys for watching. You've been you're amazing. And I do this for you guys. So it's because of you guys that Striking Distance was able to give me review code for this, because I have people that watch this channel, and that's cool, man. So when they give me a review code, that's for us, man, so that we can check these out to know, like, hey, man, are we getting screwed? Are we getting freaking, are they just trying to, get some money out of us? Man, these guys worked hard on this game. You can tell. A lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of hard work went into this. And I'm happy to say that, yeah, man, this one here freaking, it had me glued. It had me glued the whole freaking time. Like I love it. I love playing it. I loved playing through it. It was great. I stuck it out. I wanted to finish. It was great. And I mean, that's testament right there that just how good this game is because I sat here and I got through it. So, all right, man. Like I said, if you like this content, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.